What's going on, guys? It's first ice, and I'm gonna head out for some stock trout. Ontario has some great stocking programs, so there's a lot of great opportunities when it comes to early ice stock trout, winter stock trout any time of the year. But the nice thing about these small lakes that are stocked with trout is the fact that they're small, so they freeze early. So I just used the spud bar along the shore, stayed tight to shore, walked my way out, used the spud bar to make sure I was in decent enough ice, and then walked out a couple inches just from shore, a couple feet just from shore, set up the hut, and I'm gonna cut a hole and put the hut over top of it. The objective today is to sight fish them. So I'm gonna try and set up, see if I can see some fish cruising through. I'm not gonna set up in super deep water. They use the shoreline to run along. They run along the shore kind of like they're treating it similar to a river, so you really don't need to be that far out. These fish are in 5-6 feet of water even in the winter, so that's where I'm going to set up. Relatively shallow, so hopefully I can still see the bottom and then see a few fish cruising through. So should be a good day. I'm looking forward to it. First day on the ice. I'm going to get set up and see if we can see some fish. What I'm looking for here is some sticks and rocks that are on the shore. These fish cruise the shorelines, but they tend to stop on little bus stops, little restaurants that hold, bugs, little minnow species, and that usually is rock piles, wood that comes out, fallen tree, logs, just some structure along the muddy shoreline that kind of distinguishes itself. So what I'm going to do is just walk along the shore, see, like, here's a boulder, this would be a decent place to set up. Usually when there's a boulder there, you can kind of assume that there's going to be some other rocks nearby. Look over here, I've got some other rocks and then some sticks, so I'm gonna look to set up. I've got the tent popped up, but I'll move it around. This is where I want to fish, but I might just try and move it over top of some good structure. And what the fish do, like I said, is they're gonna cruise the shoreline, but tend to stop and hang around those pieces of cover or structure, and then keep on moving. So that's kind of a high percentage area, and that's where I'm gonna set up.
Here's what we're dealing with in here. Once we get it dark, we should be able to see down that hole pretty easily. It's not very deep here, and there's not a lot of snow, so it should show up nice.
So what I'm working with here is some little spoons for brook trout and stock trout. I find that really bright colors work well. So, I don't know, something like these would probably work. I might go with smaller. Yeah, we'll try this for right now. Little tingler spoon, VMC tingler spoon. Bright gold, cause a lot of flash down there, call them in. They're actually pretty aggressive fish, so they'll eat bigger baits, but oftentimes it's better if you just fish with a small one, I find personally. But I'll just tie on this little spoon here, close up the windows, get it nice and dark so we can see the bottom, and then hopefully we have a brook trout come through.
There he is. Nice one. Come on. Oh man, look at him.
This is the spoon box I got going on right here. I just threw a few of these in, just in a quick little box just to bring out for the day. But yeah, I got like some flash champs here. I guess I got the only flash champ. Oh, here's another one. Some of these Tingler spoons and the tumblers. These are all pretty sweet. Like, they all do their different things. So, EMC tumbler spoon, EMC Tingler spoons. Then these are the roach spoons. They have a little rattle with some fluff on there. These are good too. I don't know, you just play around. I mean, these fish are reasonably aggressive and they just come in. I like using bright colors, so you see most of these here that I brought for the day are all bright. But yeah, these fish will just come in reasonably aggressive, and then you can pop it a few times and call them in and then shake it, and it's been working so far, so I think they're liking it. But yeah, you can just play around. Sometimes they'll prefer, you know, the roach spoon over the flash champ over the Tingler, or vice versa. You never really know. If they're on the spoons, you can play around with different ones. They'll all work if they're on the spoons, but you can just play around. Sometimes one of them will work better than the other.
No! How? Oh, here he is again. Come on. He's still there. I just missed one.
Don't set the hook so hard, maybe? I don't know. I didn't really set it that hard, but I could see the hook was in his mouth. So I'm not sure why he didn't get hooked. I don't think I stung him though, because he came right back around. Found if I'm just ripping it like this, they've been coming in. Because they're just cruising the shoreline right now. These are riverine species, so they're technically a river fish. And so what they do in these lakes where they're stocked is they actually use the shoreline like the bank of a river. So they'll just cruise the shorelines and eat. Stay relatively shallow throughout the winter. That's why you can sight fish them like this. But yeah, they're just cruising the shorelines, and I'm set up on one of the shorelines right here, and I just keep it ripping, keep it moving, and they're curious, pretty aggressive fish, so they come and check out the VMC spoon, and then once they get here, I kind of dance it in their face, hopefully, until they bite it, and then if that doesn't work, you can rip it again, call them back over, but I've just been ripping it like this, and they've been flying over, so I keep doing that for a little bit. No, I lost him, no! It hooked on the edge of the tent. Ah, no. That was a good one. I'm not in very deep water right now, maybe 6 feet. I can kind of make out the bottom. Well, I can see the bottom. It's just pretty mucky, so I don't really know, like, there's no distinguishing features that let you know I'm looking at bottom. But it's not very deep right here. And the neat thing is that we go through, like I said, I'm seeing that these fish are coming in little wolf packs. It seems like there'll be a lull for a while, and then you'll get an action-packed few minutes with a bunch of fish coming through. And what I think they're doing is just cruising the shoreline in these little groups, these little wolf packs, and then our baits are here intercepting them. And yeah, yeah, it's been a lull for a few minutes here, so I'm hoping there's another little wolf pack coming through. But it is really neat because they just use the shoreline kind of like the bank of a river, and they'll just cruise around, cruise along it, and eventually see my bait here and come over and bite it, hopefully. That last one was a beauty. Unfortunately, I tried to pull him up through the hole, and my bait got snagged on the tent here, and so he got away, but that's alright. Kind of seems like a hole this big might need a little dip net. Actually might help. Alright, well that's a wrap for the day. I swing and a miss on 2 fish, and then had a really nice one right to the hole. Nice big brook trout. Unfortunately it like thrashed right on the top of the ice. You guys saw that, and then the hooked on the side of the tent and unfortunately popped off, but it is what it is. I was only out here for a couple hours, so I call it a success. It was a great day. Saw a bunch of fish under the ice, and I had a lot of fun, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. I tried to prove the point. Unfortunately didn't land any brook trout. There's always next time, so I appreciate you guys watching. Also, when you cut a big hole like this, I just threw some branches on top. Don't forget to do that just to be safe.